What's up, Amazon gang? It's your girl Jazz hanging around here, and I'm back for another video. This one is going to be a little bit different, but before we get into that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell notification button to stay in contact with your girl, and let's get to it. What's up, Amazon gang? It's Jazz here, and if you're noticing that I'm talking a little bit differently, it's because I'm part of the brace face gang now. I just got my braces yesterday, actually. Today is Thursday, July 13th. I got my braces yesterday, July 14th. So I'm getting used to talking. I have a lot of saliva, a lot of my mouth over the braces and all of that stuff, just trying to get used to it and everything like that. But that's not why we're here. We're here because in my last video, if you guys remember, I mentioned that I recently got laid off, and I decided that I was gonna do the laid off vlogs. I mean, I don't have anything else to do right now other than applying, trying to present myself, and just make me as marketable as possible for anyone that wants to hire me or for myself, pretty much. It's quite honestly been a journey. It's been a task. It's been a whole bunch of emotions. Tomorrow, I will be laid off for a month. Tomorrow will mark a month that I have been laid off. For one, it went by so fast. I can't believe how fast it went. And for two, it's been a series of emotions. It's been a ball of confusion. That's what it's been. If y'all know ball of confusion, if you know, you know. But it's literally been a ball of confusion. I feel like I might need to move because Mother Sun is doing what she does. So hold on. I tried to change my angle, but this is what we have right now. So we're just gonna go with it. Been trying to find work, been trying not to lose my mind, and all of the things. And I'm just gonna be completely vulnerable with you guys, completely honest, because I know I'm not the only person that has ever experienced these feelings and these emotions before. I know I'm not the only person that has ever been laid off. I'm gonna be completely vulnerable with you guys, completely open, and we just gonna get into it. And if you have ever experienced any of these feelings, any of these emotions, if you have any tips, please leave a comment down below and let me know, how you were able to get through, how you managed to get through, and all of those things, because I'm learning as I go. The first job that I had was a retail job, but most of us, when we first start out, we're either babysitting, retail, or something in the food industry. But for the last couple of years, I've been pretty progressive in my career, moving forward in my career. So to get to an organization that I probably should have done a little bit more research on, because they do have a high turnover rate and they do have a history of layoffs. But because I was focused on progressing in my career and moving forward in my career, I probably missed the opportunity to navigate that space, or not navigate that space, but do a little bit more research on the company prior to me getting started there. So I started at the organization, and I was there November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 8 months. I was there 8 months before I got laid off. And prior to me getting laid off, there was some shifting that was done prior to that. But I didn't think anything of it because that was supposed to be the last time that has happened. There wasn't supposed to be any issues with it, and it was just supposed to be smooth sailing from there. But here we are. So the way that it played out for me, I was supposed to have my weekly meeting with my supervisor, but it was my supervisor and HR, and they were like, you're probably wondering why you're here. I mean, why we're both here. And I was like, no, not really, because maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 days prior to that, we had an all-staff meeting indicating that there would be layoffs, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get laid off, only because of my current profession. I am a DEI specialist, so a DEI officer, whatever, a DEI expert, that's who I am. And it's kind of hard navigating in a space that doesn't want to change. Is very what's the word? Hesitant of change. It is very hesitant of someone that is coming in like, this is what we gotta do, this is how we gotta change, this is what we gotta focus on, XYZ, XYZ. But it's hard trying to train, teach, educate in the DI space where the external picture is more important than the actual principles of diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, acceptance, etc. The list goes on. So that was hard. It was funny because I was telling a friend of mine that this position was honestly the first time in any position that I've ever held, whether I worked front office, whether I worked administrative, whether I was counseling, whatever the case was, this was the first position that I've ever held that I felt, one, as a woman, two, as a Black woman. And what I mean by that is when you enter in spaces where they're not used to, the person that I am, I'm twofold. It's either I'm not going to say much and I'm just going to write down policies and procedures and say this is what needs to get done, or I'm going to say what needs to be said and somebody's going to feel some type of way about it. So I was trying to be, this is the policies, this is the procedures, this is what the practices are, this is what we need to do, and just leave it there. But trying to pull me in only in one space. And then when I'm saying, okay, this is what we need to do, this is how we need to do it, XYZ, emails are not being responded to, or they're being responded to very late. Or if I'm reaching out, there's no response back. Or other people, if I'm reaching out to them, asking them, what's going on, XYZ, they're trying to belittle, and then they begin to laugh, and then they're just very disrespectful, and things like that I didn't really care for. White and Black. It had no race. It was just, I guess, just the nature of the situation. And that was it took me back, because what do people say, taking it back? It took me back because I was just like, I'm not used to being in an environment where the great songwriter said, smiling in the face, but all the time they want to take your place, backstabbers. And it wasn't necessarily they're trying to take my place, but they're smiling in my face, but then they're having conversations about me not putting a period at the end of a sentence in an email. Exactly. I needed to give you a long pause because these were the things that I was privy to. The conversations that I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's not why I'm here, but okay. And then, some other stuff happened after I left, and it's just, it's funny because when you have somebody like me that's a creative, that's an innovator, that is always looking for new ways to do something, new ways to show improve, new ways to execute a plan, a project, a procedure. But so, the week came or whatever, and I just started thinking about rent, bills, food, things that I have planned for the summer that I would have to like kind of alternate, you know what I mean? Like trips that I had planned that I was like, I could still go, but I don't know if it would be the most financially responsible for me right now, considering I don't know how long this is going to be, and God willing, it will not be very long. And then I started thinking about, well, this will be a perfect time for me to focus more on, my nonprofit that I started, my other business that I've started that I had to stop because I had surgery last year, as you guys know. But I couldn't even find myself to focus on doing those things because I was in such a place where I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm here, I wake up every day, I go apply, and then I get back into bed and I go to sleep. I wake up, I take a shower, and do it all over again. And I'm still, right now to this day, trying to figure it out as best as possible. I may look like I'm put together right now, but that's only because I had a pre-screen interview this afternoon, and I had to put a face on. But I'm low-key a little pissed off. I'm pissed off because I feel like if you weren't dedicated to one, having a DI officer, you should have never hired for that position. And two, because I'm just like, damn, like I did not get laid off for not doing something. I got laid off for funding, but ... And I won't even get into that, but you can fill in your own blanks for the ... And it just sucks. Like, it really sucks. Like, I cried, I was angry, frustrated. I'm still upset, I'm still frustrated. I haven't cried this week. I've literally been crying for the last 3 weeks. I haven't cried this week. It's like no one prepares you. Like, you're prepared to get a job, and God forbid you're prepared to get fired. But nobody really prepares you for getting laid off. Because that feeling is a different feeling, because it's like some people, they're not even expecting it and it just happens. Like, for the most part, I did get a heads up, 3-day heads up from the masses. But when I sit back and think about it, like the little things of me saying, I need to be in these meetings, I need to be in these spaces, I need to understand what's going on so I can then do XYZ effectively, and not being in those meetings, not be privy to information. Me reaching out to people that I'm supposed to be working on a project with, and they're not answering emails, intentionally not answering emails, intentionally not answering direct messages. And it's those instances where it's like, instead of, oh, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Just be real, like, yo, you about to get laid off. At that point, I feel like you should just be like, yo, you about to get laid off, instead of me setting up meetings with you and saying, I need to be in these spaces. These people are not contacting me back. These people are not communicating with me, only to find out that I'm getting laid off. Like, that shit is fucked up. Like, it's fucked up. There's no way that you can slice it, dice it, or cut it. It's fucked up. It's poor business practices. It's not cool. It's just, that's what it is. So, I've been having, I can't even tell you how many applications I've done. In my inbox right now is probably 200 emails of application submissions. And then I must have deleted another 80. And those come from the thank you, no thank you automated responses that I absolutely, completely hate and cannot stand. And I low-key honestly would appreciate if these businesses would stop sending these automated messages. I mean, I guess I understand that it makes it a lot easier, but every once in a while it's good to know that an actual human being looked at your application versus the computer siphoning through and seeing if you had this word, this word, this word, this word, this word, and if you have enough of the populated words or phrases, then they'll submit it over to somebody who may or may not look at your application in that instance also. But I have had literally a handful of application responses with people to email me back saying that they do want to have an interview with me or screening or whatever the case is. But even that's hard because I had an interview recently with an organization up in New England, and when I tell you that to me the interview went amazingly, like personality was there, they were interacting, I was interacting, answering the questions, giving examples, looked professional, everything. And to get the email like 5 days later that says, oh, thanks, we're not going to move forward with your email. But in the headline of the email, it said next steps, exclamation mark. You do not send rejection emails with the subject heading to say next steps, exclamation mark. Because people like me, that when I see next steps, exclamation mark, I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm getting a second interview, amazing. And then when you reach out to these companies, and it seems like somebody actually sent the email, and you reach out to them and you're like, hey, thank you for your response back. I'm just wondering, if you could give me some insight or a little bit more exactly what it is that you're looking for in this position. And that specific one, I did reach out to them and I was like, the heading said next steps. So I was very excited for next steps, only to find out that I was rejected. If you could give me a little bit more insight of, the interview, how it went, how it didn't go, what the process, what you're looking for, whatever the case is. And granted, they're not required to do that, but it would be good to know, like, if the interview didn't go a certain way, so that way you can kind of navigate the space differently. Because I don't know how I'm interviewing to you or coming off to you. I think I'm doing a great job. I think I am answering the questions. Sometimes when I hear myself babbling, I have to pause myself and stop and take a breath and, regain my thoughts, my process, my next steps, and then, keep it going from there. But it would be good to know, like, did I say like too much? Did I not say like enough? Was I rambling? Did I not answer the questions in full? Were the examples not visual enough? Did you need more examples? What helped me be a better? And I feel like it is okay to maybe not give all of the tips, but if someone is interviewing, give a little bit of what you could have done better, so that as we continue this journey, then I can be like, okay, well, they said this in that interview, so let me see if I can take these notes and implement it into this interview and then move forward from there. But that is probably asking too much. And people don't think the way that I do, so I know that's asking too much, but it sucks because it's a lot. Like, emotionally, it's a lot. I was watching this video the other day of this young lady because I was wanting to know, like, if other people experience sadness after getting laid off, or if what I'm feeling these days, because like I said earlier, I was gonna go to therapy prior to getting laid off because I've been feeling like I've been in a really dark place prior to that, and trying to convince myself, trying to make myself happy, but I know that I need to figure out why I feel the way that I do. Um, so I already had that going on, and then to get laid off, it just kind of added on to that. And I don't want to do anything. It's not even didn't. I don't want to do anything. Currently to this day, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be outside. I don't want to talk to people. I just want to be left alone for real, for the most part. Today I had some Chipotle because low key I was craving Chipotle all week, and I haven't been eating. Like, I make juices, I was selling them prior to surgery, but I stopped doing that. But I've just been drinking the juices, and I feel like they have been, for the most part, giving me the nutrients that I need to not feel like my body was starving or anything like that, or got a little bit of energy, because I don't want to eat nothing. I drink water and put mad ice in it, let the ice melt, and then eat the little ices, because I got a nervous tick, if you will. It's not really a tick, but I'm a nail biter. But ever since I started doing that again, I haven't been biting my nails. But hell, eating ice is not good for my teeth either. And you know, I'm brace face gang now, so it's just like, it's just one thing after another. Like, I don't even know. I feel like right now I don't even know what I'm saying, because I'm just wrapped up in a ball of emotions. And I want to honestly break free from all of those emotions. I want to be able to work for a company or organization, foundation, whatever it is, that values DEI efforts, DIB efforts, IB efforts, EB, EIB, however you want to split the acronyms. Just be with an organization that values truly what those principles and those concepts mean. Be appreciated in my work. Not necessarily be recognized, but be appreciated. Trying to, make the organization better for everyone around, everyone that it encompasses and everything like that. You know what I mean? Just be a better human being, period. But it's a hard space to navigate, because it's like, I don't even know. I don't even know what it's like. I couldn't even tell you what it's like. I know that it sucks. And I know that because of my own personal battles that I'm trying to navigate, in addition to this shit, it sucks, man. I almost didn't even get my braces because I was like, I might need to hold on to that money for a little bit, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be in this situation. My mom and my sister was like, true, you don't know how long you're gonna be in this situation, but you gotta get your teeth squared away, and that's a priority. Like, health is a priority, and shit, if there's one thing I know about health, is that health is definitely a priority, because I don't know if I said it in the last video, but my doctor, when I went to get one of my checkups from the surgery, She was like that my cholesterol level was a little bit high. It wasn't in the danger zone, but it was high. And don't have a history of high cholesterol in my family. So it was ultimately equated to stress and not sleeping. So it's like I'm trying not to be emotional every day, trying not to cry every day, trying to keep my stress down, going to the gym, trying to stay physical, trying to stay active, trying to be out in nature. But at the same time, I don't want to do nothing. Like, I legit don't want to do nothing. Like, I just want to be in the bed. I don't want to do nothing. But I don't know, y'all. I feel like I've been rambling again. I don't know, man. I figure, you know what I'm saying, I just come up here and just kind of express myself and see if there's anybody else that has been feeling the way that I've been feeling or have ever experienced what I've experienced. But if you care to follow me on Instagram, it's Jazz Hanging Around. Follow me on here on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll hit y'all back next week. Maybe I should not say I'll hit y'all back next week, because I don't know if I'm gonna do it next week. But I will definitely be back for the second vlog for the laid off vlogs. And we just gonna make it do what it do. You just call me the locked up brave space diva, cause this diva is struggling right now. We gotta figure out what the hell to figure out, on how to figure out what we figuring out. Cause if we don't figure out what we need to figure out, then we won't be able to figure it out. You feel me? So